Hello everybody, this is Untitled. Just wanted to make this video on a game that I have recently downloaded and been having a lot of fun with, and I just want to make this video discussing what this game is, what I enjoy about it, what I dislike about it, and then essentially just see what you guys like about this, because I've had some comments recently about people, they want me to go back to like Battlefield Hardline and stuff like that, like, you know, do the content that I've been doing for the past few years. Issue with that is that I don't have, it's weird to say, I don't have the time, nor is it cost effective to even try and do it anymore. Specifically with Hardline, I can barely ever find a lobby that's not TDM or like the same downtown lobby, and that's it. And even if I'm covering sniper rifles, which do good in that sort of scenario, I wouldn't do it for that. So, like I said, I may return to Hardline one day, but it will take some time before its player base is rejuvenated a little bit more, before I'll start actually posting about it again. Trying to think of what I could say about this. So that's kind of it for the stuff. Obviously, I'm gonna be making a channel update video soon enough as well, just discussing this in more detail. Regardless, though, let's get on to the game. So for those that don't know what game this game is Rogue Company. It is a Hi-Res Studios games, which is the same people that made, I believe, Paladins and stuff like that. And I've played Paladins before on stream. I've mostly deleted those streams because they were bad quality, but they've made some pretty decent games. But generally what they, Hi-Res I've seen is very good at, they're good at taking other games and then diversifying those games into something that's a bit different. Paladins was obviously a diversification of Overwatch, with quite a few differences and quite a few upsides and downsides and differences. This game, if you guys couldn't already tell, is based off of Counter-Strike and Valorant, more Valorant than anything else. But so what is the, I guess, what is the gameplay like, and what do I think of it? Well, firstly, I wouldn't be making this video if I didn't like the game. I downloaded it recently, I've been playing it. This is actually my first ever game on, which is why I'm looking like a complete idiot. But throughout the game I start getting a lot better, and I start realizing how to do things correctly and stuff like that, and now I'm pretty decent at the game. So what do I want to say? How do I want to state how this game plays? So essentially it is like Counter-Strike and or Valorant, except that instead of your stuff being bought once and that's it, you can now buy things and they stick over time. A good example is that you can now upgrade your weapons and equipment. So and each of those can give you a new thing. In the case of the character I'm playing, who is Saint, one of his primary weapons is an M4, effectively. And the first upgrade you get for it, gives it a 40-round mag instead of a 30-round mag. The second one, I believe, increases your damage range or something like that. Or no, it's not, it's something else, but it's minor. And then your final upgrade makes it to where it has suppressed fire, and that you also, so you don't appear on the minimap, and that you also have increased damage range. You have other guns as well, like on different characters, like Dallas, which has the Devotion. The Devotion does, the Devotion's final ability is that it no longer takes damage, fall off, stuff like that. So as you play the game, you upgrade new things, and instead of losing your weapons every game, you just purchase the weapons and that's it. You keep them, as you can see in the menu right here. So I would say if you guys want the quickest thing to the comparison to this, I would say one of the closest thing you can compare to this is Heist from Call of Duty Black Ops 4, believe it or not. because their system is pretty much the same as this one in terms of how you like purchase and stuff like that. But either way, let's get into the characters and my overall opinions of how the gameplay works. So every character has well, I guess I'll just go over what the characters have. So every character has an ability. It would be the same button as your specialist button on Call of Duty games, stuff like that. In the case of Saint, which is the character I'm playing in this gameplay, I have something called a revive drone. So if any person is downed, I can hit both buttons whilst the cooldown is up, and I can essentially revive anybody on any side of the map. Which obviously seems kind of insane, but granted, you know, every player can have one, and every character also has a passive with them. Saint's passive is that when reviving a teammate, you and that teammate gain a huge health boost. So essentially you and them get healed to almost full health 90% of the time when you res somebody, which can be insane because you can you can res somebody when whilst you're in a gunfight or whilst you're entering a gunfight, and you can immediately just overheal yourself to the point where you won't die. Obviously you can't like overheal yourself as in like heal over your max HP, but you'll have more effective HP. But that's just his passive. Another character I'll talk about is Dallas. So Dallas's ability is that he can ping the map, and then the closest person to you gets pinged and can be seen through walls for a short time. And his passive is that he can is that upon downing an enemy, he gains his ability back instantaneously, which is kind of insane. But obviously only revealing one person on the map, and it's for a short time, kind of isn't like super insane when you think about it. But that's like how the characters within themselves work. Now every character has a specific loadout, grenades, and perks that they can buy. Specifically, each one has their own secondary, and then each one has their own choice of 2 primary weapons, as well as having a choice between 2 equipment that are specific to that character. Now obviously there's a lot of equipment and stuff like that in this game, but in the case of Saint, we have smoke grenades and trip mines. So I have a claymore effectively and smoke grenades. Those are my 2. Now I can obviously upgrade those, which trip mine probably has the best upgrade, final upgrade ever, because you can get 2 of them as the ability. But that's kind of how it works. You have some characters that can have tear gas, you know, your standard grenades. Some have EMP grenades, stuff like that. And then we go on to perks. So perks are things you can buy that just give you passive. Basically, it works like your character's unique passive, but multiple different characters have access to them. Every character has their own their own unique set of perks as well, but they're not unique in the sense of other characters can't have them. They just probably won't have them in the same combination. A good example is there's a character that I don't have unlocked yet. I forgot his name. He has the same skill, the same final perk as Dallas, which they both have a perk. Which, by the way, you're seeing Dallas right here. This is what Dallas looks like. You get to upon dying an enemy, your weapon is automatically reloaded, and you gain ammo back into your reserve, which is really good, especially with Dallas, because Dallas has the ability to keep regenerating his skill or his ability, so it's kind of insane. So every character has their own things. Same thing with Saint and Dallas, both have the ability to gain an extra 25 HP, and perks like that. Now, if you guys can see in the menu, once it starts, there will be, I believe it's 8 perks. Don't quote me on that. It's hard to remember exactly how many perks there are. Ranging in value from 4,000 to 10,000, 10,000 being the highest cost ones, and so on and so forth. And as you can see, with you constantly, as you progress through the match, it becomes a lot more interesting, because unlike CSGO where everyone's starting from scratch and it's basically whoever does better always does well, this game I think does better at keeping, even better than Black Ops 4, at keeping people on an even playing field in terms of stuff like that, because every person, even if you're winning gives you good advantages, don't get me wrong, you get a lot more money, but winning also doesn't guarantee you a win in a lot of cases, or it doesn't even push you to have a super high chance to get a win, because every character keeps their upgrades. Only when they're switching sides do they change, as you guys will see here. So it kind of keeps that sort of balance in place, so people aren't just, you know, running left and right, and then, you know, immediately they're dying because some dude won 3 rounds in a row, and then they have, like, all the broken equipment. No, everyone probably has broken equipment if they do. So, time for me to just get on to what I like in the gameplay. Firstly, I think if you guys want to play a CSGO clone in any shape or form, play this game. It's free to play on PS4, Xbox, and PC. And not all characters are unlocked from the start like Overwatch or games like that. You start off with around half the cast, I believe, a bit less than half of the characters, and then you must purchase the other ones through grinding out, which will be like the in-game currency, which is I forget what the in-game currency is called, but whatever. So it takes quite a while to get new characters, but all the new characters are unique enough to where I can allow it. One big thing is that skill is very important, and not as much skill as just being good at aiming or being good at something else. The big thing that makes this game much more interesting to me than games like Overwatch, or not even just Overwatch, like Overwatch, CSGO, Valorant, stuff like that, because Valorant and this game have a similar situation where it's not just being good at shooting that's a good thing that you need to know, it's being good at your character. In the case of Saint, I basically tried using him as like a, well, in the beginning I tried using him as like a rusher type character, and I figured out that that's actually not the best way to do it. As you'll see, in a lot of cases here, I'm rushing up and I'm engaging enemies when I probably shouldn't. One of the big things I realized is that he's very, very good at being like a ranged fighter. And not only because of his weaponry that's built into the game, but also because his kit is insanely good for it. Simply put, being able to revive from any range means that being in the background isn't a big deal for you. You get to heal up from range much faster. You get to stay out the gunfight, so you'll get to heal yourself for rezzing, and then be able to get back in and pop out of cover faster, stuff like that. As for the game modes, there are 3. One of them looks to be similar to, I guess, kind of like Hostage from Rainbow Six Siege, or no, more like Secure Area from Rainbow Six Siege, where you get to run around. You know, you either win by killing the entire enemy team, or you get to capture the area. In the case of this, I'm playing what would be Bomb from Rainbow Six Siege, or just Bomb in Counter-Strike. Simply put, I'm just, you know, kill the entire enemy team or plant the bomb and win. One big thing is that you go in, or I should say that a lot of people don't know, is that using or playing this game is kind of strange in some ways as well, because you only start off with you only have 4 teammates, or sorry, not 4 teammates, 4 players per team, which means that games can sometimes go much faster or much longer depending, as you guys can see in this gameplay, which is over 16 minutes long. Yeah, overall, oh yeah, I forgot. There's one last game I forgot to tell you guys about. I believe it's called Strike. Don't quote me on that, but it's essentially Hardpoint. Or no, it's more like Control from. It's more like it's a mash of Control and Hardpoint from other Call of Duty, except that you have the limited respawns of Control, but you have the controlling one point like Hardpoint. But the difference is, and the point moves every now and then. But the difference is that the longer you hold it, the less respawns your opponents get, and then when you kill the entire team, whilst they have no respawns left, that's how you win. Or if you get them down to zero respawns, among other things. That being said, I guess I might as well talk about this in terms of the channel. This game, I may stream it and I may post like some character guides that I like, or talk about characters that I like. But I won't let this consume my channel. Namely, like I said, I'm probably going to be doing a lot of Cold War. Potentially some Battlefield Hardline if I can get into lobbies. And just other games that interest me, like Siege, stuff like that. Now that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed me rambling on about this game. Try out Rogue Company. If anyone who's played CSGO or Valorant, I think this is a good third-person shooter for that sort of thing. And yeah, this is Des12530, and I will be signing off.